Welcome to another action-packed hour of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Professional wrestling the way it used to be and the way you like it. Hi, wrestling fans. I'm Bob Caudle along with Dr. Dutch Mantell. And we got an exciting hour in store for all you fans this week. You're going to see right here during this hour the debut of the Suicide Blonde, Chris Dandito. Also, we're going to see the Heavenly Bodies in action. We're going to take a videotape look at strange turn of events that occurred in Morristown, Tennessee. That and many, many more events during this hour. And Dutch, what's on Down and Dirty?
Another tough assignment for Dutch Mantell, but I am a man. I can handle anything they throw at me. My special guest today on Down and Dirty with Dutch, some men that I haven't quite seen eye to eye in recent months. Jim Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies will be my special guest today on Down and Dirty.
Look forward to that, Dutch. And what about our TV Beat the Champ match?
I will draw a hat. Brian Lee will make his second defense, third defense. Let's see. And I'm going to draw a name out of the hat right here. And that name is, survey says, whoa, the DWB, the Dirty White Boy facing Brian Lee today. That's a match I want to see for $1,000.
That's a main event anywhere in the country, fans. You got to see it right here on television on our Beat the Champ match. All right, we're about ready with action. Let's go to the ring.
Fans, introducing first from Chattanooga, Tennessee at 220 pounds, the Nature Boy, Paul Lee. And his opponent on this hour of Smoky Mountain Wrestling from Ashland, Kentucky, 235 pounds, Bobby Blaze.
Well, Bob, this should be an interesting first bout here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Bobby Blaze, a native Kentuckian from Ashland, Kentucky, squaring off against Paul Lee here in this opening match here at Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Well, that's two of the younger stars, you might say, in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. You know, I don't know. I don't think Blaze has gotten a win, nobody, but he's been going to get some really tough competition, though.
Well, I've said before, Smoky Mountain's a real tough federation to bust into. I mean, guys just don't step in here and just start knocking guys off unless they're real, real good. Bobby Blaze, of course, has been here on Smoky Mountain before. His one-loss record is not too good.
Well, the Nature Boy's going to do a little strutting up there, Dutch. Nature Boy Paul Lee with that hip toss, and he sent Blaze hard to the mat with that, lifts him up, power slam. Well, Lee's coming on strong right at the beginning of the match.
Well, he sees a big opportunity now to get a big win here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling. That's what all these guys are looking for, some big, impressive wins to sort of shake up the front office of Smoky Mountain Wrestling and make them sit up and take notice of them.
Hey, wait till you see the tape of the recent incident in Morristown. That's going to be a little later in the program, Dutch. You don't want to miss that.
Wild stuff there.
Wild stuff. But I tell you, you really hit the jackpot when you drew that name out of that hat, Dutch. You couldn't come up with a tougher match, I don't think, than the Dirty White Boy.
You know, I haven't said this before, but
look at Blaze. Boy, he's showing you a lot of spunk right here and a lot of agility and quickness.
whoa, he sent him in for the ride.
Oh, and he went high in the air, hit the mat and hit it hard.
Now, let's see if Bobby Blaze can sense victory here. Let's see if he's got that killer instinct. Let's see if he can continue. Well, that stopped it right there. I thought maybe he could sense maybe getting a win here. You know, what I was going to say about beating the champ, a lot of guys are standing by waiting for their name to be drawn, but the one who's really nervous back there is, of course, Brian Lee, because it's a random drawing and he don't know who he's going to face. But I bet when he heard the Dirty White Boy's name, I bet he's warming up right now.
And you know, it's...
Maybe if I'd have called somebody else's name, maybe if I called a Paul Lee's name or even a Bobby Blaze or something like that, somebody who really doesn't have a lot of experience and credentials behind them, maybe he could rest a little easy. But he knows he's been through the wars with the Dirty White Boy before, so he knows now this is a critical part of his Smoky Mountain career here today.
You're right about this, too, that everybody back there that has his name in his hat, he knows the opponent would be primetime Brian Lee. He knows all about Lee, too, but Lee, for instance, as you just mentioned, he doesn't know who that opponent's going to be. He can't get ready for whoever it might be.
You know, Bob, what if I pulled my name out of the hat?
Well,
Do you think they would let me wrestle, or would they say...
I might even go down there and stand in your corner, Doug.
Would you?
I would think about that very seriously. Yeah, I would think about that.
But do you think if I drew my name out of the hat, they wouldn't think nothing would be wrong or sort of improper or anything?
Well, they might be a little bit leery because they know you'd win $1,000. And
No, they'd be leery if I won, which I would win, of course. Paul Lee going up on the top now. Let's see if Paul Lee can get that killer instinct here. No! Nobody home. Nobody home.
I tell you, it had to hurt.
A punch by Blaze.
Here's a good opportunity for but Paul Lee came right back with a neck break.
Good move by Paul Lee. Good move. He was on the defensive, turned it into an offensive move. That's like turning a liability into an asset.
Well, he's going right back on the offensive
A little bit
again.
of economic lingo for
I
you,
see.
Bob.
Yeah, that's from Dr. Dutch. Here's Lee off of the rope.
Cross body block. Wait a minute. Blaze is rolling through it. Flash Morris in. He got a win. Blaze got him pinned. His first win. His first win right here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Bobby Blaze, of course, been coming on strong in recent weeks, and this is what he's been waiting for. A big win here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling. In his heart, he hopes the front office of Smoky Mountain Wrestling is going to sit up and take notice. Let's take a look at it now. Paul Lee off the top with a cross body block right there. But Bobby Blaze had enough presence of mind to roll through it. He's got the pin on Paul Lee, 1, 2, 3, his first win. He's making his way over. Let's go right now to Bob Cottle, and Bobby Blaze is going to do his first interview here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Dutch, I wanted to call this young man over. Bobby Blaze fans, I wanted to get him over and talk to him for just a moment because all of you saw it, and I want to congratulate you on your very first win in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and I tell you, I hope it's one of many, Bobby.
Oh, all right. Hey, I'm just as surprised and excited as these fans are. I tell you what, Bob, I come to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and they threw me there at the Lions. Beautiful Bobby Eaton, the Heavenly Bodies, Dirty White Boy. Man, I felt like the Christians being thrown to the Lions. I tell you what, I got in that ring, and I was intimidated. I intimidated myself. I looked across the ring and saw those athletes.
Yeah.
Man. Then the other night I was leaving the arena, and a kid came up to me and said, Blaze, let me have a moment of your time. I've always got time for a fan, especially a kid. And he said, Blaze, you're not giving 100%. I added 2 and 2 together. I was intimidating myself of these guys that are world-class athletes and wrestlers, and I wasn't giving 100%. Tonight out there, I gave 100%. That kid's face popped in, his image in my mind. A little red-headed, freckle-faced kid out there, and I read his lips. He said, Blaze, give 100%. Try, man. I started fighting my way back, and lo and behold, I got a victory. And I'm going to tell you, all these great fans and the wrestlers in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Bobby Blaze will be blazing new trails through Smoky Mountain.
All right, and good luck to you. Fans, there it is, his first win on Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Bobby Blaze. We're going to be back. We'll have more great action for you right after this. Don't go away.
If you'd like to raise money for your school, club, or civic organization, and you'd like to see the excitement of Smoky Mountain Wrestling live in your hometown, this message is for you. High school and college athletic departments, sports teams, police and fire departments, JCs, civic groups, or any group wishing to raise money can bring the stars of Smoky Mountain Wrestling to town for a night of action and receive a portion of the receipts. Write to us or call Sandy Scott at 703-989-6819. Smoky Mountain Wrestling and your civic group, an unbeatable tag team.
All right, fans, with us right now, here they are, our Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions, the very popular 4-time World Tag Team Champions, Rock and Roll Express. Rick, Jim Cornette, he says he's got a mystery team. He says they're big, huge, rough, tough, mean, and he said this weekend, Rock and Roll's going to find out all about them.
That's right. This weekend, his mystery team is going to be revealed. But you see one thing, Jimmy Cornette, we've been through thick and thin with you, brother, so bring it on down. Let me tell you one thing about the Rock and Roll Express. One thing we are fighting champions. Nobody in this world ever gave Robert I nothing. Nobody ever walked over the silver platter and says, Rock and Roll Express, you're going to be the tag team champions. No, everything we got, it took blood, sweat, and tears. We're not like no other wrestling organization. This is Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Our father is not a promoter. What we got is what we fought for. Nobody ever gave us nothing, Jimmy Cornette, and you know that as well as we do. So you can bring those big old guys down there, which you say weigh 300 pounds apiece, which you say is known all over the world. It don't matter to us. Like I told you, we're here at Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and we're proud of it. One thing that we're proud of, that we are the champions, and we got all these nice fans right here to back us up. So you bring all those big old boys down there, because I told you many times, Rock and roll. We're here to stay. We're not here to play. We'll see you this weekend, boys.
Rock and Roll Express fans, right now, let's hear this about the Rock and Roll Express fan club.
You can be an official member of the fan club for the most exciting tag team in wrestling, Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. Join today and you'll receive a personally autographed 8x10 photo, a bandana, photo buttons, quarterly newsletters, an official membership card, and you'll be eligible for a contest to win Ricky and Robert's ring jackets, wrestling tights, and more. Show your support for the Rock and Roll Express and join today. It's one of the most exciting tag teams in the history of professional wrestling, the Rock and Roll Express, and you can be a member of their fan club.
Fans introducing, weighing in at 218 pounds from Music City, USA, Gary Scott.
All right, Dutch, and making his way right now into the ring area, here is a guy, I tell you, we've heard more about this guy. There's been more mystique about him, more talk about him. All of that now is behind us. I'm anxious to see what it's all about. And I want to find out more about this World Wrestling Association Championship or whatever the WWE is.
Well, Bob, I would, but I think you should do a little research on your own. Let's listen to the introduction right now.
Fans introducing, weighing in at 222.5 pounds from Asbury Park, New Jersey, the Suicide Blonde, Chris. Great, that's the WWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Suicide Blonde Chris Candy.
All right, the Suicide Blonde Chris Candido, the champion of the WWA Heavyweight Champion of the World. Now, you said, hey, check this out. I tried, but I haven't been able to get anything yet, but I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to check into this WWA organization.
Why don't you try?
It's out in New Jersey or somewhere in New Jersey. And I don't have a detective agency doing it yet, but I may have to hire one.
Why don't you try the phone book, Bob? I'm sure their number is in the phone book.
Well, I don't have a phone book for every city in the country, Dutch.
Well, you dial 1, an area code for New Jersey, I would imagine. A state in there. You want to start in New Jersey. And 555-1212, and I will tell you.
Yeah, if he's in New Jersey. I don't know that he is in New Jersey. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Gary Scott came on the right hand. That was a bad move. He's going to pay for that one. Candido all over him.
Oh, big left footy kick. And a side salto takes Gary Scott right over. That Chris Candido looks like he's pretty well put together there.
He is that.
A thick man, a thick individual.
You know what? I think Cornette may have a rival here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Now, he may rival Jim Cornette for his big loud mouth and his ability to really tick people off. He hasn't made any friends in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. High off of the rope with that leg right down across the throat of Scott, and Scott is in trouble now. And he lifts him up. Count of 2, he lifted him up. No way Scott was going to kick out of that.
Okay, fans, if you tuned in late, my special guest on Down and Dirty today will be the new Heavenly Bodies with Jim Cornette and the new Heavenly Body, Jimmy Del Rey. And, you know, I haven't seen eye to eye with Cornette, and I'm stepping into the lion's den, but I am a man. I'm not afraid of them. There's 3 of them and 1 of me. But I have courage, and I am going to go. Whoa, did you see that?
What in the Dutch? What a move. From over the ropes.
Over the top rope, right onto the floor, and Gary Scott.
And not only that, he was right on the money with it.
Well, we see why this man is a world champion right now. He's giving it 110% in there, and he's trying to make a real big impression right here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, right off the bat. Wait a minute, Gary Scott going for the sunset. Candido got
down, and he had him for the count of 2, but no way he could hold him in there. Boy, that upset Candido, too. Look at that clothesline that he came back with.
Now he's slapping slapping Gary Scott. I think he may have embarrassed Chris Candido just a little bit. He is a sort of a cocky top fella.
If he did, he may pay for it. Look how high in the air he goes with that backflip.
Man, he could have been in a 82nd Airborne. He was so high. And somebody put me that high, I'd have nosebleed probably.
Well, you could sail right on out of here probably.
Hey, watch it. Watch it. Wait a minute.
All right, now here is
right across the face.
Tying him up. And Scott is unable to defend himself or do anything about it at this point.
Well,
he's in a complete daze.
Well, he's stunned from that suplex.
Yes, sir. He's completely dazed.
I mean, he's on the top rope. Most guys get on the second rope. Wait a minute. Takes him off. What a ride that was, courtesy of Chris Candido.
1, 2, 3, Dutch.
Fans, here is your winner of the match, the Suicide Blind, Chris Candido.
Now you see Chris Candido trying to make a big impression here. And the suplex off the top rope. He takes him off. Referee Mark Curtis slides in for the pin and a 1-2-3. Chris Candido in his debut appearance here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling is very successful, the WWA champion. Now let's go to Bob Caldwell standing by with the cocky one himself, Chris Candido.
All right, fans, and you just saw a great debut right here by the Suicide Blonde, Chris Candido, who says he's the world champion for WWA. Right, Chris?
That's right, the WWA, the World Wrestling Alliance, not the rinky-dink Smoky Mountain garbage. And hey, you bunch of hillbillies, how does it feel to have not only a natural blonde, but the real world champion here in your jerkwater town, huh? Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you now have no choice but to recognize me as the real world champion. I just beat Gary Scott, a top contender for any title in the entire world of wrestling, with the Suicide Plex 1-2-3, like it was a day off. So Smoky Mountain Wrestling, get ready for the Suicide Blonde Tour. I'm the WWA Heavyweight Champion of the world, the real world champion, Bob Cottle.
All right, fans, Suicide Chris Candido, you heard him. You're going to see a lot from this man in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. We'll be back. We'll have more right after we take this time out.
Wrestling fans, Smoky Mountain Wrestling is returning to Feds Creek, Kentucky at the Feds Creek High School on Friday, June the 25th at 8 p.m. Hazard, Kentucky Memorial Gym on Thursday, June the 24th at 7:30 p.m. You'll see the Heavenly Bodies, the Rock and Roll Express, the Armstrong Brothers, Jim Cornette's Mystery Team, plus a one-night tournament for the King of Kentucky title in Hazard on June 24th. Williamsburg at Whitley County Middle School, Thursday, June the 17th at 7:30 p.m. Smoky Mountain Wrestling is returning to Cumberland to the Cumberland High School on Monday, June the 7th at 7 p.m. 10 matches and all seats only $6 in Cumberland. Tonight in Barberville at Smoky Mountain Wrestling at Knox Central High School at 8 p.m. You'll see a Battle Royal final, the Dirty White Boy against Brian Lee, the Rock and Roll Express against Jim Cornette's Mystery Team, and also the Heavenly Bodies taking on Scott and Steve, the Armstrong Brothers. And it's all coming back to Pikeville, the Pikeville College Gym, on Friday, June the 18th at 8 p.m. 5 main events, including a $20,000 bounty match, Tracy Smothers against Kevin Sullivan. Also for the tag titles, the Rock and Roll Express defending against Jim Cornette's Mystery Team, and the Heavenly Bodies taking on Scott and Steve, the Armstrong Brothers, in Pikeville.
You know, as it's obvious for everybody out there viewing WYMT right now, Smoky Mountain Wrestling rules Eastern Kentucky. We're blanketing Eastern Kentucky, and Jim Cornette rules Smoky Mountain Wrestling, brother. And I rule the Mystery Team that's going to be coming down hard and coming down heavy and coming down fast on the Rock and Roll Express tonight in Barberville. And if they make it past that, then coming up in Pikeville. And I also rule the new Heavenly Bodies, the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey and Dr. Desire Tom Pritchard, who every woman in Eastern Kentucky is calling, begging, pleading, screaming, crying tears. Please go out with me. But we got a little unfinished business. Scott and Steve Armstrong, your old man, he's getting better, I hear. He's getting a little perkier, feeling like he might even want to come back. But first, you got a task. You got to take on the Heavenly Bodies. Now, I know the Armstrong family tradition is the same as the tradition of everybody there in Pikeville. Alcoholism and unemployment. Well, Scott and Steve Armstrong, the Heavenly Bodies are going to send you more of the same in Pikeville.
Fans, can I have your attention, please? Jim Cornette has demanded that I make the following announcement. All females in the arena are forbidden to touch, grope, fondle, or molest the Heavenly Bodies on their way to the ring. Violators will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Of the new Heavenly Bodies, the cousins, Tom Pritchard.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the objects of every American female's desire. The Doctor of Desire, Dr. Tom Pritchard, the Gigolo, Jimmy Del Rey. They are the Heavenly Bodies.
Well, and of course, still managed by the one and only Jim Cornette. I was just trying to think when ring announcer Brian Matthews was reading that little announcement there from Jim Cornette. What do you think the female might look like that would want to touch or molest or do whatever to the heavenly body?
Well, Bob, you got to consider now you're in the Smoky Mountain area, so there's no telling what females may do up in this area. Ever see Mike Sampson in the ring with Jimmy Del Rey?
And boy, I tell you, this Del Rey is very impressive. Dutch, when we saw him last week in his first match, you had to say that he really knew what he was doing in the ring. The guy's got some tremendous moves. He's got a lot of speed and a lot of quickness to go with it. Look at that move right over the back. Mike Sampson.
What a kick he gave Mike Sampson and took him right down.
The guy is tremendous, and what an asset he is to Dr. Tom Pritchard. You know, the Armstrongs, Dutch, have really made no secret that they're now on a mission to get revenge for their dad against Cornette and his heavenly bodies. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Bob Armstrong has resigned as commissioner of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and the board of directors, they're serving as interim commissioners, I guess. Mr. Armstrong has resigned. But I'm going to tell you what, like I've said before, the Armstrongs they're in Smoky Mountain now. They're looking for revenge on the heavenly bodies, but do not, I repeat, do not, Armstrongs, if you're listening, do not let emotion guide you. You better approach this in a professional way and under control. Otherwise, it may not work out the way you intended to.
All right, Pritchard had blocked one move, but he couldn't block that one.
Well, what he went for that power bomb. Mike Sampson blocked it. Now Robbie Eagle back in the ring. And
Eagle's a big, strong one too, Dutch.
He slams the doctor. Oh!
Well, he was going to go for another drop kick, and Pritchard just quickly backed away from it. Dutch, who in the world can the mystery team of Cornettes be? The one that's challenging the Rock and Roll Express?
Well, you know, I have several people in mind, but I'm not. Did you see that move right there? Leg drop off the top of Jimmy Del Rey, the newest addition to the heavenly bodies. Now we see Jimmy Del Rey in reverse on the top rope.
Incredible moves right there.
What a move right there. We got to watch that.
Heavens.
Oh, what a great move by Jimmy Del Rey, the heavenly bodies.
Here are your winners of the match, Tom Pritchard and Jimmy Del Rey, the heavenly bodies.
Hey, they aren't satisfied. They're really going to work now on Robbie Eagle and Mike Sampson.
Well, there you see.
Del Rey and Pritchard, look at them just pounding and stomping away. Cornette's going to get in to get a few licks.
Tom Pritchard and his cousin, Jimmy Del Rey. We got relatives in the ring taking it really out on Mike Sampson and Robbie Eagle. We've got company.
Here come the Armstrongs.
We got visitors. The Armstrongs are in the ring now. They're going after Pritchard and Jimmy Del Rey and Cornette.
The Armstrongs and the heavenly bodies as they go at it. Cornette outside of the ring. The bell is ringing. Dutch is wild chaos in the ring right now.
Whoa! He
The
said
Armstrongs and the heavenly bodies. Watch him really mix it up.
and he's
Cornette all around the ring. He didn't know what to do.
Cornette's in the ring. They got him locked both down in the figure four. Cornette, that gave him a perfect opportunity to roll in.
Dutch, we got to get some kind of order restored here. Something's got to happen. We'll be back, fans. Don't go away. Right now, let's get some order back in the ring.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling is now offering official merchandise by mail. You can have the excitement of Smoky Mountain super shows like the Volunteer Slam and Fire on the Mountain on videotape. All the weekly SMW TV shows are available on home video, custom made to your order. Be fashionable with SMW t-shirts and baseball caps. Get an autographed photo of your favorite star. For a complete list of items, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, P.O. Box 1279, Morristown, Tennessee, 37816. Send for your brochure today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Down and Dirty with Dutch. I'm Dutch Mantell, and you're not. Now, my special guest today on Down and Dirty with Dutch is a team newly formed, Jimmy Cornette and the new and improved Heavenly Bodies. Now, Jimmy, I want to tell you right now, let's just set the record straight here. I know we haven't seen eye to eye in recent months, and I know that the stud stable have had problems with the Heavenly Bodies, but I am a professional. I'm a professional journalist, so I'm out here doing my job. But I have to say one thing. When you guys got to Bob Armstrong, I'm going to have to say that was a masterpiece that you guys did, because I'll give you credit where credit is due.
Well, Dutch Mantell, that's something I know about you. You're like I am. You appreciate a good hatchet job. You've always been cunning and devious and underhanded and dishonest, and I admire a man who's good at what he does. So I got no problem with you either. I do have a problem with these rednecks here in eastern Kentucky and all over the Smoky Mountain area that are constantly, you know, the Armstrongs came out here. You know what I would have done if they'd have been out here 5 more seconds? I'd have had to slap them in the face myself. Now I know we're talking about Bob Armstrong, and I know he sent a videotape in. I know it's your show, but if we can, I want to hear what old man Methuselah Armstrong has to say.
Okay, let's listen to some comments from Bob Armstrong.
You know, I just wanted you to know, Cornette, where I'm spending most of my time here the last few days. This is Armstrong's Avenue, the gym I built over the years through a lot of pain, sweat, and tears. I'm happy about one thing, though. This little blue card represents a wrestler's license that enables me to wrestle or manage in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So I appreciate the application being accepted. This little bitty weight here, I just move around in my wrist every day, roll it down. It's getting stronger. I'm pushing further past the pain. Because when I counted those licks you gave me on that tape, you slapped me and punched me about 15 times. Hit me with that racket in the 20s, somewhere around the number 50. But this is number 51. And when I put this on your nose, you're going to think a ballistic missile hit you in the face and blew both your ears off. Now, I know Steve and Scott up there doing the best they can against your heavenly bodies and your new arrival. But I'll tell you one thing. I trained those boys in this gym, Armstrong Avenue, and they know how to go hard and fight hard, and they can take a licking and keep on ticking. Now, I'll tell you this. For every lick you gave me, you're going to get one back. And like I said, I'm saving that extra one. That last one's going to be special, and you'll remember it forever. The bullet won't be shooting no blanks this time. I won't be chained up. And you know, as much as you beat me, as much as I hurt, what even hurt me worse was when you called my youngest son, Brian, a deserter. A man that called me a week before he went to the Persian Gulf said, "Dad, don't worry, I'm not afraid." Well, I was afraid enough for both of us that he wouldn't come back, but he did, and you called him a deserter. You're going to pay the price, mister. And one little word of advice, you know, Brian gets out of the Marine Corps this June. And that ain't long, brother. It'll be here before you know it. So I'm building an army. And I'm taking new recruits every day. And you can look for the general of Armstrong's army any day now. Because I am on the way. Because every time I watch that tape every morning about 6:30, I come right out here to the gym. And I work out harder and harder. I'm pushing further and further past that pain. No pain, no gain. And I tell you what, you're going to gain more than any human has in the history of the human race, because I'm going to issue you more pain than anybody's ever had to endure. Because I know what pain's all about. Everybody saw me strung up and beat till you couldn't even raise your arms. I hope you feel good about it, because before too long, you're going to feel real bad about it. Now behind me, you can see some trophies and things that I've won over the years. Almost 30 years. I've never had to take a beating like that in my life. And I'll never take another one. And I'll be doggone if any man of your caliber is going to get away with that. So look for Armstrong's army soon. We're on the way.
Okay, you heard the comments from Bob Armstrong. Jimmy, Mr. Cornette, can I have some comments on what he said?
You know, first of all, old bullet Bob Armstrong, we proved that he's shooting blanks. He is nothing. He's finished. He resigned as commissioner. He was beaten up like nobody's ever beat him up before by Jim Cornette, yours truly. His boys are totally ineffective. They can't stop the heavenly bodies. The Rock and Roll Express have been trounced. They're being trounced every single time they step in a ring. My mystery team, brother, is going to run roughshod all over everybody. I don't care whether these people don't like it or not. The fact is that Jim Cornette rules Smoky Mountain Wrestling. But in addition to the Armstrongs being totally ineffective as far as professional wrestling goes, I understand that they are totally ineffective as far as a few other things go. Jimmy, Gigolo, come here. You know, this man is the greatest natural athlete that I've ever seen in my life. I've had a long history of dealing with beautiful Bobby.
I haven't met you, Dutch Mantell.
Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I've had a long history of dealing with beautiful Bobby Eaton. A lot of people say he's the greatest natural athlete they ever saw. This man, brother, if he don't rival him, he bests him. He's been in training. He's been down there in Florida. We've kept him secret for 4 years because he's the secret weapon, brother. He's the thing that we knew one day we'd need, that ace in the hole. But the Gigolo has been supporting himself during these 4 years that he's been in training, you know, with a lot of those society matrons down there at Palm Beach. Mrs. Vanderpool, I know, was especially... Vandersnoot. I'm sorry, I thought it was Vander something. But anyway, now the Armstrong family women have gotten wind of this, and Scott Armstrong's girlfriend actually had the guts to write this man a letter. I want you, have you got that letter? Can you read that letter?
Can I read it? Yeah, read it. A letter.
This is from Scott Armstrong's girlfriend. She is a brazen hussy. Go ahead and read it.
Dear Gigolo Jimmy, I like it already. Every time Scott leaves the house, I call you, but you never answer. I will leave him anytime you say. No one has ever...
You can't say that part. Don't say that part. Just...
I can't say that?
No, don't say that.
Anyway, ever like you did it. Best of all, I love you, Gigolo.
You know what? Scott Armstrong's girlfriend is just like Bob Armstrong's old lady. She looks like 40 miles of bad country road. That's what... Whoa, hey.
Wait a minute. Well, we've been joined in the ring by the Armstrongs trying to call the heavenly bodies back. Hey, man, I heard it. I don't know. I didn't like what Jimmy Del Rey did. I think it's, no, I had nothing to do with it. I think it's despicable, and I think it's despicable what they did to your dad, too.
Yeah, you say a lot of things there, Mantell. I'll tell you one thing right now. When it comes to Jimmy Cornette, he needs to know one thing, and Mr. Mantell, you need to know one thing. And that is the Bullet Bob Armstrong is at home. He's getting better every day. Every day. He is going to come back to the Smoky Mountains. He is going to be bad to the bone when he gets here. How about it, Steve? That's right. Jimmy Sissified Cornette, bring your Big 12 sandwich-eating sissy butt on down, because, brother, on a silver platter is how you're going to be served to the Bullet Bob Armstrong. And one more thing. Before it's all over, this may be down and dirty with the Armstrongs.
All right, fans, you heard it. Some comments from the Armstrongs. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
If you'd like to raise money for your school, club, or civic organization, and you'd like to see the excitement of Smoky Mountain Wrestling live in your hometown, this message is for you. High school and college athletic departments, sports teams, police and fire departments, JCs, civic groups, or any group wishing to raise money can bring the stars of Smoky Mountain Wrestling to town for a night of action and receive a portion of the receipt. Write to us or call Sandy Scott at 703-989-6819. Smoky Mountain Wrestling and your civic group, an unbeatable tag team.
Fans, a recent match in Morristown really took a bizarre twist. It was a special challenge match between Tim Horner and Jim Cornette, but with some unexpected results. Watch it right here.
Fans, unbelievably enough, Jim Cornette has had the advantage in this match most of the time with the help of the Dirty White Boy, who was at ringside helping Jim Cornette with interference. And Jim Cornette has just made a serious tactical mistake, and Tim Horner has the advantage now to capitalize on it. Some shots to the midsection, one to the jaw with White Light, and Tim Horner has got Jim Cornette reeling back in the corner. And, you know, Jim Cornette's not a wrestler, so it'd be hard for him to take much punishment like this. Into the corner, big hip toss by White Light and Tim Horner. And the fans here in his hometown are going crazy for their hometown boy. Head into the turnbuckle with Jim Cornette. Tim Horner's getting up on the second rope. Watch this, the Dirty White Boy. He's got a chain, wrestling fans. The Dirty White Boy has reached into his trunks. He's got a chain, and he's just nailed White Light and Tim Horner with the chain. Here comes Tracy Smothers into the ring, taking over on the Dirty White Boy. The fans here in Morristown are just going crazy. Two big shots to the head on from Tracy Smothers. He's got the Dirty White Boy, throws him into the corner. Here comes Tracy. Oh, the Dirty White Boy moves. Now Tracy, DDT on Tracy Smothers. The Dirty White Boy had enough about him where he got out of the way and got the DDT on Tracy Smothers. Jim Cornette is back up to his feet as the Dirty White Boy is choking Tracy Smothers. Watch this. Jim Cornette has just hit Daryl Morris, the referee, knocked Daryl Morris completely out, kicks him out on the floor. Now they're taking the advantage on the wild-eyed Southern boy, Tracy Smothers. Tim Horner is still shaking, trying to get up, but he can't really help his friend Tracy Smothers much at this time, as the Dirty White Boy and Jim Cornette are taking over on Tracy Smothers with shots to the back. Here comes Tim Horner, fans. He's got the Dirty White Boy by the back of the head. One big shot to the jaw. The Dirty White Boy goes down. Another one right to the jaw from Tim Horner. And what's this? Jim Cornette, he's got some powder. He's thrown powder into the face of Tracy Smothers. Tracy's blinded, can't see anything. He's swinging in midair, just trying to swing at something, hoping he'll connect. He can't see a thing, fans, with that powder that's thrown in his face. Tim Horner's coming around now to see if Tracy's all right. Let's see what happens. Tracy Smothers just decked Tim Horner, his best friend. He's on top of him, nailing him with lefts and rights. Tracy can't even see who it is. Tim knows what's going on, but Tracy can't see a thing as he's going all over Tim Horner. Tim Horner back up now as he's on top of Tracy Smothers. These guys are friends, and they're just going at it like crazy here in Morristown. And again, Tracy can't see what's going on. Here comes Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express, into the ring to try to grab these two and pull them off of each other. Ricky Morton has a towel, and they're trying to pull Tracy Smothers off of Tim Horner. They're going back at it again, fans. Ricky and Robert's trying to break this up. Robert gets a hold of Tim Horner. Ricky backs Tracy over against the ropes. Fans, it's just unbelievable what's been going on here between Tracy Smothers and his friend Tim Horner. Ricky Morton wiping his eyes, trying to get the powder out of his eyes here in the ring. Tim Horner's still upset about what's going on. You can obviously tell. Now here we are they're trying to explain to Tracy what's going on. Tim wants to have no part of it. Tim's just hot because his friend just decked him. Oh, Tracy's just realized what's going on. He can't believe that he hit Tim Horner. Uh-oh, what's this? Tim Horner's still hot about it. Tracy's... And fans, Tim Horner didn't see that Tracy Smothers got powder thrown in his eyes. He was knocked down by the Dirty White Boy with that chain, and Tracy was just beaten from all different angles by Jim Cornette and the Dirty White Boy. When he felt an arm come toward him, he was just swinging because he was fighting for his life. He couldn't see a thing. He's trying to explain to Tim now what the situation is, that he got the powder thrown in his eyes. Tim is still visibly upset about the whole situation. He and Tracy have been friends for such a long time. It's such an unfortunate situation for this to happen between these two good friends. Fans, we're here in the dressing room with the wild-eyed Southern boy Tracy Smothers and White Light and Tim Horner. And guys, it seems like you guys got into it tonight. I don't think either one of you really knew exactly what happened out there.
I know what happened, Brian. I came over to help Tracy, and he whacked me, cleaned my cloth. That's what happened.
Well, Tim, the last time I looked up, I was out to the ring to help you, man. I mean, White Boy come interfered during your match, and I was just trying to help you out. And, man, I look up, and I get powder thrown in my eyes. There's people hitting. I didn't know who was on me, but there's darn sure a lot of them, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know that was you.
Tell it wasn't me, Tracy. I was out.
I had powder in my eyes. The rock and roll cleaned it out of my eyes, and I could see it was you. I'm really sorry. Well, can't you see what's happening here? Me and you were fighting amongst ourselves over something that other people were causing.
Wait.
Man, that wasn't intentional at all. I had no idea it was you. Heck, I should have known. You threw a heck of a right hand, about broke my jaw.
Maybe you're right, Trace. I was talking to Ricky and Robert. They said the same things, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't intentional at all. Let's take care of the situation at hand. I mean, man, you know, other people are causing us to argue amongst ourselves.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling is now offering official merchandise by mail. You can have the excitement of Smoky Mountain super shows like the Volunteer Slam and Fire on the Mountain on videotape. All the weekly SMW TV shows are available on home video, custom made to your order. Be fashionable with SMW t-shirts and baseball caps. Get an autographed photo of your favorite star. For a complete list of items, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, P.O. Box 1279, Morristown, Tennessee, 37816. Send for your brochure today.
Hey, fans, right now here's the Dirty White Boy and, of course, his manager, the legendary Mr. Ron Wright. First of all, I noticed that you've still got your $20,000. Nobody's taken the head yet off of Tracy Smothers.
Well, that's right. I've got that $20,000 up, and it's going to stay up. And I hope and pray that somebody comes and collects that money before June 11th in Knoxville, Tennessee. If they don't, the Dirty White Boy here will go out there and collect it for me anyway. But let me tell you something. You know, I'm the living legend. I've wrestled for 25, 30 years before I got injured and couldn't wrestle. I've held the Southern Heavyweight Tag Team titles with me and my brother. I've held the Junior World Heavyweight single title by myself. I've had both of my eyes beat till they was plumb shut one week, bounties put out, other eye swell shut the other week. It's just been terrible and awful the way that these wrestlers have treated me my entire life. Tried to put me out of wrestling, cripple me up and get rid of me forever. But let me tell you, it's coming down, and it's a great honor to take the last dime that I had to my name, cash my life insurance policy, to get this bounty up, to get that sorry, low-life Tracy Smothers out of wrestling forever. That's the way they done me, Bob.
Ron, just calm down, Ron. Don't worry about a thing, because I'm fixing to walk over here to this ring in just a few seconds, and I'm going to make you $1,000 richer. I'm going to win. What I'm predicting here right now, I'm going to beat primetime Brian Lee and collect $1,000 for Mr. Wright.
All right, fans, and now we're going to watch. We're going to watch it. Now, I tell you, this is the main eventer anywhere. Primetime Brian Lee and Dirty White Boy, and that's our TV Beat the Champ match. Dutch, it's something.
Fans, this is for the Beat the Champ TV title. Introducing the champion at 280 pounds from Orlando, Florida, primetime Brian Lee.
Well, Brian Lee already in the ring waiting on the Dirty White Boy, who, if you've been a hermit for the past 5 or 6 weeks, you should know that the Dirty White Boy, of course, has moved to New York City.
Fans, introducing the challenger, weighing in at 252 pounds from New York City, the Dirty White Boy.
All right, fans, and this is for our television championship and $1,000. Brian Lee is going for number 3 today, Dutch. This is on his way to 5. He would retire undefeated. $5,000 in his pocket.
And you know, that hasn't been done yet. Nobody's taken it all the way, because this Thompson win 5 straight matches right here against the competition here in Smoky Mountain. I mean, I could do it, but nobody's done it now.
You're one of them. I tell you, you've been drawing out some great names out of that hat, and this was a tremendous match that you drew out for this week. But you know, if the White Boy wins today, and then he wins in Knoxville on this Friday, he could be the very first man to hold both of the titles in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Very good point.
How about that?
Very good point. The first man to hold, beat the champ title and the Smoky Mountain heavyweight title. Very good. I'm going to write that down. Very historical fact there you gave me, Bob.
Hey, do you remember the guys that Brian Lee has defeated that he's taken on? I tell you, he hasn't had an easy walk up to this point.
Well, I know he gypped Jimmy Golden.
Oh, no, let me tell you.
A big gyp there.
He had to defeat to win the title. You know, he defeated Bobby Eaton. What a tremendous match that was, and what a great win that was for him. Then, how about the next match he had? Killer Kyle, Dutch. What about that one?
Well, he beat 2 of Cornette's men right there.
Then, as you say, Jimmy Golden.
Well, Jimmy Golden got gypped. But regardless of the fact, he still got his hand raised in victory. Oh, Brian Lee went for the big boot. White Boy hung in the corner there. And a big shot by the big man from Orlando, Florida, Brian Lee. Another shot. And he sends White Boy reeling on that one.
He had him reeling all down the ropes and wobbly on his feet, and he went down from that big powerhouse right hand. And Brian Lee has got a score to settle with the Dirty White Boy, and he's trying to take it out on him right here as the White Boy goes out of the ring from that blow. Over now to have a little conversation with his manager, Mr. Ron Wright, and Wright's pumping him up a little.
Now, let me say one thing about the Armstrongs. They came out uninvited, I might add, in the middle of my segment and destroyed my whole segment out there.
You talking about the Armstrongs?
The Armstrongs, of course. Who else would I be talking about? The Renegades came out there mad about their old man getting beat up. Well, I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with the letter, but yet all of a sudden they're trying to pick a fight with me. Well, they better watch me because, you know, I didn't say nothing to them in the ring, but, you know, they could tell that I was getting real mad, and that's why they left.
Powerful scoop slam right there by Dirty White Boy. He missed that elbow drop. Brian Lee scoops him up, slams the White Boy hard to the mat. When Lee slams you, you got a long way to go, and he's a big, powerful young man. He can really slam you and slam you hard. Almost throws you right through the mat. It's so hard. The White Boy in the corner, he's going to be punished over there. You know, I'm kind of glad. I'm not kind of, I'm really glad.
Whoa!
That Tim Horner and Tracy Smothers are keeping cool heads about this situation, Dutch, with them. I think somebody's maybe several people are trying to throw a monkey wrench into their friendship.
Okay.
I've even heard you accused of that, Doug.
Well, I know what Tim Horner did because there was an ulterior motive there. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He's just trying to keep it a secret right now. We see the white boy putting Brian Lee over the top rope now, helping him back in, being the good sportsman that the dirty white boy is, helps him back in the ring. Over the top rope, of course, suplex him right in, then drops on right on his head. You can't hurt Brian Lee hitting him in the head because there's nobody home there anyway. You can't hurt him. But regardless of the fact, White Boy is taking the battle now to Brian Lee. White Boy can smell $1,000. Ron Wright can smell $1,000. And I believe when I drew the name of the dirty white boy out of the hat at the top of the program, I think Brian Lee, he tightened up just a little bit. White boy, of course, going for a big leg drop. Yeah. Brian Lee moving, but he's still on the offensive.
There was nobody home when he came with that one, that big right hand, though, and there's one, that was right on the chin. And Lee, he just made an ugly face when he caught that one.
Two shots.
With a couple of his own down from the third one. Goes the dirty white boy. Boy, Lee is primed now. He's primed for action. Ron Wright backs way away from the ring because he knows an explosion is about to occur.
The big boot from primetime Brian Lee. And he rocks dirty white boy's world with that one.
Scoops him up.
Power slam.
Boy, drives him right hard to the mat, does Brian Lee. Look at that standing drop kick. Over the rope goes the dirty white boy. Drop kicked him right over the top rope.
White boy reeling from that drop kick outside the ring now. Ron Wright, as you mentioned, has moved way back from the ring area.
Here comes the white boy.
Over the top. 1, 2. He did it. New champion.
Yes, sir, he did it.
New champion.
Here is your winner of the match and new Beat the Champ TV title holder, the Dirty White Boy.
Wait a minute. Here comes Tracy Smothers in. He did. You know, he had his feet across the ropes, Dutch, but the referee didn't see that, of course.
Now, what is...
Counted him out, 1, 2, 3, and here's Smothers in now to talk and complain to the referee about it. 1, 2, 3. He's going to say wrestling.
He said,
holy cow.
Continue the match. Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Wait a minute.
And Brian Lee's going to roll him up in a small package.
Oh, man.
He's going to pin him. Holy cow.
Retaining the Beat the Champ TV title, prime time.
Now, this is unprecedented. That's unprecedented.
All right, fans, we'll be back right after this.
Unreal. Robbed again.
Wrestling fans, Smoky Mountain Wrestling is returning to Feds Creek, Kentucky at the Feds Creek High School on Friday, June the 25th at 8 p.m. Hazard, Kentucky Memorial Gym on Thursday, June the 24th at 7:30 p.m. You'll see the Heavenly Bodies, the Rock and Roll Express, the Armstrong Brothers, Jim Cornette's Mystery Team, plus a one-night tournament for the King of Kentucky title in Hazard on June 24th. Williamsburg at Whitley County Middle School, Thursday, June the 17th at 7:30 p.m. Smoky Mountain Wrestling is returning to Cumberland to the Cumberland High School on Monday, June the 7th at 7 p.m. 10 matches and all seats only $6 in Cumberland. Tonight in Barberville at Smoky Mountain Wrestling at Knox Central High School at 8 p.m. You'll see a Battle Royal final, the Dirty White Boy against Brian Lee, the Rock and Roll Express against Jim Cornette's Mystery Team, and also the Heavenly Bodies taking on Scott and Steve the Armstrong Brothers. And it's all coming back to Pikeville, the Pikeville College Gym, on Friday, June the 18th at 8 p.m. 5 main events, including a $20,000 bounty match, Tracy Smothers against Kevin Sullivan. Also for the tag titles, the Rock and Roll Express defending against Jim Cornette's Mystery Team, and the Heavenly Bodies taking on Scott and Steve the Armstrong Brothers in Pikeville.
You know, as it's obvious for everybody out there viewing WYMT right now, Smoky Mountain Wrestling rules Eastern Kentucky. We're blanketing Eastern Kentucky, and Jim Cornette rules Smoky Mountain Wrestling, brother. And I rule the Mystery Team that's going to be coming down hard and coming down heavy and coming down fast on the Rock and Roll Express tonight in Barberville. And if they make it past that, then coming up in Pikeville. And I also rule the new Heavenly Bodies, the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey and Dr. Desire Tom Pritchard, who every woman in Eastern Kentucky is calling, begging, pleading, screaming, crying tears. Please go out with me. But we got a little unfinished business. Scott and Steve Armstrong, your old man, he's getting better, I hear. He's getting a little perkier, feeling like he might even want to come back. But first, you got a task. You got to take on the Heavenly Bodies. Now, I know the Armstrong family tradition is the same as the tradition of everybody there in Pikeville. Alcoholism and unemployment. Well, Scott and Steve Armstrong, the Heavenly Bodies are going to send you more of the same in Pikeville.
Fans with us right now, Tammy Fitch and Robbie Eagle. And Tammy Fitch is the young lady that brought the sexual discrimination suit against Smoky Mountain Wrestling, right?
That's right. You know, I think I finally figured out what's wrong. okay? I studied psychology up at Wellesley College, and we saw that boys will be boys. If a woman comes along that's smarter than them, they feel inferior and they just can't handle it. So Robbie here has decided that he'd help me convince some of the boys that letting me manage them would be the only thing that would improve their careers. And in return, I told him I'd go out with them.
What about that? So you're going to do that, huh? Boy, isn't she cute? Yeah. Hey, well, what about would you manage him?
Are you kidding?
Robbie Eagle and Tammy Fitch fans, that'll do it for this week. See you next week, and until then, so long for now.